Hey, Chops Nation, Jack here. Just wanted to let you know that halfway through this episode, we face some tech difficulties, so you will be hearing our backup audio file. Classic. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Oh, we're not doing Fermata?
You sounded like you sounded like Andy Barnard. I'm Steve Peterson.
And I'm Jack Hinkle.
Welcome to Chops Podcast, where we talk about best teaching, best knowing your content, and best culture that you can create with your students.
Best office references. Have you been watching The Office lately?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
I've kind of gotten away from it. But honestly, I'm staying up later. I think I told you that.
Yeah, you are. You have told me
I'm
that.
staying up later, but I'm like watching football, cool stuff, manly stuff.
Yeah,
like,
so anyway, wait. Are you going to watch The Paper? Or Paper, whatever it's
yeah, I
called?
think I may give it a try.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a subscription thing that has it, but we'll find out.
Is it on Peacock?
Oh, I've got Peacock.
It's on
Cool.
Peacock.
Okay, maybe I'll give it a
I
shot.
have Peacock because there's watch some football. Oh, Notre Dame game. Okay.
There you go.
Hey,
Hey, it's like the 6th week of school, or as Steve would say, the 5th full week. It's mid-September. It's getting there. It's getting there. And, Steve, I think this is true for a lot of teachers. But I think a lot of the teachers out in the world right now kind of know their students. I would say, like, around this time, you kind of get to know who's in your class. Like, when I look at my kids in front of me, will you stop that? I am so distracted. Gosh.
Go ahead, noob.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
A month in.
A month in, I would say most of the new kids, I feel like I kind of know.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I know them really, really well, but, like, I can talk to them, and they're not, like, uncomfortable. Okay. Are you? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Under the desk.
Okay, he's back. You feel like you know your kids?
No,
Okay.
not well enough.
I agree for myself on that statement.
Today I started being more systematic about it, and it's okay if everybody hears this.
You made Rolodexes for your kids. You made a spreadsheet.
I did.
You started just calling them out by numbers because it made more sense to you. You're like, hey, 3, come over here.
Up, let's go. Yeah, I started doing that, but it was more. The order is not so much important, but just to make sure within a week, I'm like talking about like checking in, like having a conversation.
Okay.
So like doing a kind of social check-in. How was the weekend? How's the family? What's going on? How's work? Talking about stuff like that. But then doing an academic check-in and kind of setting goals for what could happen in the next 5 days.
And you do this individually with a student? You pull them to your desk?
Yes.
How long is that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And you've got time for that because you've got
Right.
about 3 hours,
Yes.
right, blocked off.
Some of them went a little longer. I don't know. I think I met with 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
But then like looking at the programs that they're taking online and kind of saying, here's where you are, here's what you've done, here's where you want to go.
Yeah.
And this is what it would take to go to where you want to go.
Oh, cool. Okay.
If you continue at the pace that you're on now, this is where you're going to land.
Cool.
If you do this much more, this is where it's going to land. So actually giving some evidence for that.
Good.
Because now that we've been in, we have more data.
Yeah.
And since all the work they do is online, there's a lot of data pulled onto this program. And then Layla, the head teacher at Aspire, Layla Wirt, she does a lot of the long-range planning with the kids for like what classes are coming next.
Okay.
When we should take which class and just kind of monitoring that. So that's good. I think that was like different. I told the staff that today that was a different shift. It wasn't just talking to the kids. It was now talking to the kids. And it would be like before. I was like, hey, how's class going? You kind of look at some of the reports and how much they had done. But it was just kind of more like a more subjective, like, oh, things are going pretty well for you, or, but this is like trying to put like a specific numerical goal on something.
Oh, nice.
So like, we have things that we call activities, and like we can use activities. We can use like percent of how much is done in the class,
Good.
So, and I gave them Post-it notes as they left the meeting, like with the goal on
nice.
it and the date on it, and saying, or see if we can do this.
Did the kids feel pretty receptive? Like they wanted that information? Like,
I had
nice.
kids telling me what they're going to do.
Oh, great.
Like, no, in 3 days I'm going to have this class done. I'm like, let's go.
That's all. I mean, if the kids are driving, that's
Yeah.
great.
And I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. And I said, okay, because it's not my goal.
Yeah.
I'm not the one doing it. You are. So let's make sure it's something you want to do or can do.
So how much of that meeting was like academic versus social?
50-50.
Great.
50-50. And, I think you got to be careful to the internet world. You got to be careful. You just got to be careful. It can't just be like question, because then it seems like we're following some kind of script.
Yeah.
And not like
that's
really
good.
fostering like a relationship. So if I say like, what'd you do this weekend? They say nothing. I still make fun of that and imitate what doing nothing is.
Try again.
Try again. But then like, was there a special meal you had, or did somebody fix it for you, or did you go out? And then I share like, here was my special meal, or here's what I did on Saturday night, and talking about their grandparents. What do you call your grandparents? What's the term of endearment they use for your grandparents, and explaining like the history of it and like why and how that came to be. Then like telling my history, and then like what my sons call their grandparents, so it doesn't seem like I'm just sitting there firing away questions but we're also trying to create interest on both sides.
And is that something that you see that maybe kids struggle with?
Yes.
Because it becomes the question firing, and then they don't know what to do back.
Yes. Some students today did ask me the reciprocal question, which was great.
Yeah.
Like great. Just like jumped in it and said, tell me about, your grandparents or something like that. And so that was good to see, because eventually what I would like to see is that kind of born into a relationship that you could sit down with them and have a question answer.
Yeah.
But modeling to someone else how to ask about them in their life, and then how you see that's like reciprocated back, and try to keep that going. Because I don't want it to be like you're going into a counselor's office and like, tell me this,
Yeah.
and then I'm like looking at a screen, clicking on something else, and like most health professionals.
No, I think that's great. And maybe these kids, maybe they don't know what they should do with the teacher, and like maybe high school is like the first time that they can kind of have that sort of conversation.
Yes.
And especially in a typical classroom setting, from anywhere from 20 to 30 kids, it might be hard to have that much time with one student and
if
kind
they're
of
there for 45 minutes. Right.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
And I, wouldn't do that. Obviously, you don't have that luxury in marching band to pull the kid out, or jazz band to do that every day. So to be able to do that, since it's a lot of self-guided progress, that still works. But so that's what's been going on. But so I'd say the add-on this week is 2 of them being more objective about making sure everybody is being talked with.
Yeah.
And then everybody has a goal. And I know Layla's done a great job in the past with goals with students, sometimes in a daily goal or in a weekly goal or semester goal. And so this is kind of something I keep, because it's like what I've talked about, and I do keep myself like a little spreadsheet, just kind of put some abbreviations about what we talked about and what the goals are. So that's that was helpful for me today because it just seemed more objective.
Do you notice a difference in like how the kids talk to you from day one to now?
Some.
Okay.
Some, yes. Some not. But there is some movement, in having some history and talking about things like you talked about last week, or they knew you were going to do such and such over the weekend, and like you talk about those things. And so building that up is good.
Good.
What about you in relationships? You have a class of 20, a class of AP music theorists, you have jazz bands, you have large marching band, trumpet, mellophone section, you have a piano class of about 20. So what's that look like?
Oh, the piano class is like 8.
Oh,
that one,
you're living the dream.
Right. That's what I was going to say is it can be fun. And that class, I feel good about taking more time to allow the social things to sprout. And it's my favorite is when it's like random conversation. It could be question of the day or something birthed authentically, and kids start talking to each other about it, and that like recurring jokes can come back. And a few of them have gotten that, and it's pretty fun. And there is a student in there that speaks no English. She's doing very well at playing piano.
Great.
And I have Google Translate up on the screen. So if we do question of the day, I can ask it to the kids, and then I type it out on that and give her my computer, and she types a response back, and the kids can all see what she says.
Awesome.
So that's like live time. But, and some of those things in that class, the class is small enough that they'll remember the stuff. You might not remember what your neighbors say in a class of 25, but you probably have a good chance in class of 8. So that class is fun, and there's some good personalities in there, and we've had a good time there. Music theory, jazz band, all kind of a similar level. And, ironically in those classes, I feel like we do question of the day less because most of those kids have known each other for 2, 3, 4 years, and the conversations happen authentically, and I do try to make room for that. And a lot of stories, like we do weekend updates, as you know, and that was kind of your thing. And a lot of kids have stories to share, and then they're like part of the same stories because they hang out over the weekends and hearing those, and everyone's kind of in on those jokes. Those are pretty fun. My goal now is I'm like trying to target the kids who speak less. I want to get out to those kids more and hear them, especially some who are like, new to jazz band, where some of the jazz students have been in the jazz bands for 2, 3, 4 years, and if they're new members, I want to make sure that they get something to say and they're a part of it and they feel like they're a part of it and they're not like worried about the stigma. So I'm trying to reach out more to them, talk to them, involve them in question of the day, stuff like that. So, go ahead. Sorry.
What would you ask me, like if I met with a student for 10 minutes individually and I thought maybe it was a 50-50 split of talking about weekend update versus academic progress, enlighten us on that. How does that, I'm assuming in jazz band you don't need to talk about academic progress.
No.
That doesn't come up.
Not very much.
Music theory, you have to talk about academic progress, but it's probably not, it's not a discussion you're having out loud in the class.
No.
And you're not, sometimes you're pulling kids away individually to work with.
We did mix and match today. So like music theory today was weekend update, but you had 3 words, your old trick, but you had to sing it on Do Mi So.
Jack, what was the best meal you had this weekend?
Burrito bowl. That was not 3 words, but close enough.
Is that E flat?
That's B flat.
B flat.
I think.
D.
Someone fact check us. Let
Okay.
us know.
Oh, okay. Because I knew what you were going to sing.
You knew what I was going to sing?
Uh-huh.
Like the pitches, or
Yeah.
you could hear it in your head before I sang it on those
I did,
pitches?
and I thought, I thought it was E flat.
Oh, okay. Look at you. That was it. But that was...
That was for me. Okay, go ahead.
That was what we did in music theory today. So
Okay.
everyone's matching pitch, and they have to sing "Do Me So," but they can do Weekend Update with it.
Okay.
So gosh, every week, man. All I do is drop, drop, drop. Leaving that in every time.
My phone's like, come on, you're killing me. Okay, what did you do for building relationships today with the marching band High Brass, which is about 50 kids?
Ooh.
Oh, this is
not good. Jack did not build relationships much today. Okay.
Why, Jack?
Because I'm a bad teacher, everybody.
thought
I'm bad at teaching because I don't care about the kids. We just got to do choreography. We got a show this weekend. The kids don't matter. It's all about the dots and the ronde gens. Okay, sorry.
We have-
Authentic answer incoming if you want it.
Okay. No, I do because I think this is real. We're trying to be a real podcast for people.
We're trying
Okay.
to be real.
So
Everybody
if
just
I'm
calm
sitting
down.
inside with 20 to 25 students
Yeah.
that are in a alternative ed program, they're all in the same room. There's more than one teacher, and we have that time to build those relationships. Okay, but if you're teaching a large group outside in the middle of a festival competition season,
There's no time.
there's
No, there
it-
is, guys.
the time looks different
It does look
than it
different.
will for a concert band. But maybe there are people out there that would like to know, did it happen
Yeah.
today? Or if it does happen on a, like, quote, good day, or how does that look? Like, how do you do that with that many people outside?
Well, Steve, you were a marching band director.
Uh-huh.
When is the best time to build those relationships on a school day rehearsal?
The beginning.
Specifically, what time? Like, what are the kids doing? When are you building the relationship?
Oh, when they're warming up and they're coming in the room, they're getting set up. It's like before instruction begins. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
and
going
walking
for?
out to the field.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay.
He's
So
back.
like all that stuff from bell rings in the tardy line inside,
Yeah.
and then you have so many minutes to be outside ready for rehearsal. So you walk
Yeah.
a couple hundred yards out to the practice field.
Yeah. I would say when you were working with us, you were really intentional about not walking with the staff.
Yeah.
You,
Well, that was intentional, Jack.
that was he's roasting me. Get it? Okay. Because you would spend time walking out with kids, and you'd work hard to walk out with the kids who probably were quieter, right? So that I tried to do that today. I hung out with a freshman as we were walking out to the field, and I try to get down to the band room where the kids get their instruments before the passing period even starts, so I can say hi to most of them and talk to them and whatever, and kids talk to me and whatever. And then walking out to the field, we've got time for that. I mean, the walk to the field is probably 4 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And, that's 4 minutes that I want to be intentional about. Am I always intentional about it? No, but I should be better about it.
That's a good chunk of time.
That's a lot of time.
It's a passing period in itself.
Yes.
And you can be with a group of people, or you can be with one or two students.
Right. And after, 2 months of class, you could have talked to every kid in your section, right? So that's a time. Today, we got choreography slammed on us on Saturday.
Okay.
So today was the pick up the pieces, put it back together. So I was running the brass outside today, and I had a drum major go up in the tower and run the Met, and then I was on the field, mostly so I could be around to show them, we're doing the body stuff, freeform, to be around them for that. But it did allow me, on resets, being around the kids.
To talk to 'em.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And sometimes it's academic, move slower, get your horn up on this count. But I also tried to, point out the kids who I thought looked really good.
Yep.
I was like, that was great. Do that again. That great performing, stuff like that. Which, yes, it's academic, but I would say that builds relationships.
But that was also that wasn't even the high brass. That was probably all the brass.
That was all brass. Yeah.
So you had a lot of kids out there.
Yeah, around 80.
Yeah.
Around 80 or so. Yeah. But it was a fun time. We got better. And we had, an hour-long class when we do our extended time. And
Right.
yeah, it was good. So that was it.
So that was today. or maybe you felt like you needed move at a certain pace for the task at hand. What about like on a 6 to 9 rehearsal on Wednesday where students are meeting you outside on a field and your 50 kids are coming to you? And how could, maybe you have, let's say you have an hour and a half to yourself with your students to do
Ooh, that's a long time.
music and visual and attendance and warming
Yeah.
up and tuning. Like, how can you work that into your program?
Okay. I want to ask you the same question after this because I think you'll have a good answer.
Let's
If
hope
I am,
so.
this is an hour and a half sectional.
Mm-hmm.
All these poor kids. Okay. I like to start with like food check.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids typically have like an hour or 2 hours by themselves after school before band. So I'm like, okay, what did we do? What was the junk food? Sometimes it's raise your hand if you had junk food. Sometimes it's raise your hand if you ate like good food. Play F if you had junk food. Play F if you didn't.
Oh, great.
Sometimes we'll do like the rapid fire, like 1-word answer around the section. And I got like 44 kids, so it's got to be quick.
And they're standing in an
They're
arc.
standing in their arcs. Yeah. I do like to mess with the standing arrangements often.
Mhm.
Right now we're in park, as we call it, where they're standing in their like parts. Sometimes we're in number arc, so they stand in their drill spot
Call
order.
that narc.
We call it narc. But sometimes I'll just say new spot, and then they have like 8 seconds to get into a different spot in the arc. Just totally mix it up. Good for like balance and blend stuff, listening to
Mhm.
new neighbors, but also like sometimes I'll say like talk to them and, ask him this question about your weekend or and especially like early on in the year, like get to know you stuff. But now it could be different. So we do some of that. And then if it's a longer time, like an hour and a half, like you're saying, compared to like a half an hour, I am more open if like an authentic thing pops up that's like funny or silly or serious, but it's like non-academic. I do typically let that rabbit hole open up more than I would in a half hour because I think
Yes.
that's meaningful.
Yes.
Okay.
You ever feel like it's a waste of time? You can be honest.
Do I ever feel like it's a waste of time? Yes.
Okay.
I
Then
feel
why
like,
why do you do it?
well, if it's a waste of time, it's because I didn't control it well.
Okay.
Because sometimes something funny happens, and the mellophones in my section stand in front of the trumpets. It's like 2 arcs. Some years we've done it as 1 big arc, but we're too big this year, so
Yeah.
I made it like that. So sometimes a funny thing can happen in like the 3rd trumpets or in the 2nd or 1st trumpets, and it's like away from everyone else. And like the mellophones are like, what? Like I'm not in on the joke. And then I feel like I didn't control that well. And I want to try and bring that in so it's like
Right.
everybody.
Okay.
But the ones that are worth it are like the ones where everyone's laughing.
Yes.
Okay. Same question. If you were running like a marching band rehearsal, like how do you build in the get to know you stuff?
Let's
Relationship
say
building.
same kind of thing. Let's say working outside with maybe 50-ish kids, couple arcs. So rehearsal starts at 6, and say kids start arriving at 5:45 outside and getting set up, and so one would be like to, as they come onto the field, like be at the point where they come on the field.
Yeah.
And like do some kind of high five or handshake or personal question there, or wait till they get set up and they get set in the arc, and as they're playing, just warming up on their own, like doing that. I know also, let's say class officially started and we were on the clock, but they were still like standing on their spot doing some warm-ups on their own.
Yeah.
I would go by every day, every child every day, and just go around the arcs and just say, hey, how you doing? How's it going? But then, yeah, similar to you with, breakfast check. I like yours of like playing a F concert or playing this note. If you have that, it's kind of fun. But, doing the hand raise just based on, simple questions like the food and did you eat, or how many of you you're going to eat tonight when you get home, how many you're going to have a bowl of cereal when you get home, how many you're going to watch The Office, kind of doing that. I like your idea of taking the arc, mixing it up, talking to those people. Definitely like going across the arc to find somebody new, like somebody far away from you, find the furthest person away that you can talk to. and then sometimes, like, instead of just like relaxing and being quiet, like if we're rehearsing, and to say, okay, you got 1 minute to talk to your neighbor, go.
I like that.
And but I want like, and then we would stop. I'd say, okay, you got 1 minute to talk to your neighbor, go, and it would start off like a like not real energetic.
Yeah.
And I said, let's try that again. Like let's everybody jump into a conversation and everybody get going and see if we can increase the energy without yelling.
Yeah.
Something like that, because those kind of things kind of help the group.
And I imagine you did the reverse of it, and where if they ended it, try and like
Yes.
get it back in
Quickly.
Yeah. And
Back in.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Was any of that a waste of time for you?
Like you, I think sometimes it would be. I agree really strongly with what Jack said. I can't believe I'm saying that, but when there's a joke, going back to the Michael Scott thing, I love inside jokes. I hope to be a part of one someday. It's tough when you're in a group and you're doing an inside joke or telling the story that not everybody knows, and then you got some kids kind of riffing on it and joking, and then some kids clearly don't know what's going on. That I don't appreciate the dynamic that creates. That makes me feel uncomfortable. That some other kids are uncomfortable, right?
It's true. And then it's hard as the teacher, because you don't want to be like, stop it, when it's clearly like not an academic setting. But like, how do you coach the kids to like, no, we're going to enjoy this as a group.
Yes.
We're not going to make our own side conversations.
Yes.
But then if you say that, you kind of kill the vibe. And like, I think that's a hard one to navigate. Like, I find that difficult to navigate as a teacher. I'm not good at that yet. And I want to keep working toward that and bringing everyone in. And it's obviously easier if you have a smaller class.
Right.
And obviously easier if you can hear everybody. If
Right.
you're outside in a rehearsal and there's 6 lawnmowers and a helicopter, that's tough. Going back to your concept of like relationship building, like this kind of came to you from our newsletter we get every week.
Right.
So
there was the Minuteman Minute, which comes out from the high school administration, gives us calendar dates, kind of looking at the week ahead, usually some motivational thoughts and birthdays and, ideas like that. And there was like a 2-column table on it that was like do, don't, and just about things to engage students in relationships in appropriate ways, and then things not to do, like things that can be detrimental to your class that you might do.
we need like them in like cue cards right here, and we read them and we have to guess, is it like do or don't with Steve and Jack? Yell at kids. Don't.
Right.
But there were some things on there, like you remember some of the do's.
No, I don't.
I'll figure him out Sunday. He's 30 years into the career.
No, I looked at it last night. I lied. I looked at it this morning because I'm going off the email on the weekend.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Doing that trap anymore.
No.
I said trap, kids. So yeah, I'm not getting into that trap. So
like greeting kids at the door.
Absolutely.
Positive reaffirmations when doing things well. Using a kind tone, right?
Checking in with them about sports, band,
extracurriculars, home,
classes, how
all that
things
stuff.
going. Right.
Yeah. Some of the don'ts would be using a harsh tone,
Sarcasm.
Being like dismissive in front of others.
Yeah.
And you like listening to that, you may be like, well, obviously, but it is like a slippery slope, I think, that you could start doing that. And it may seem obvious, but it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, like at points in the day. So I think it was good that we're reminded of some of those things on that Minuteman Minute.
Yeah, for sure. I have a fear, Jack.
Spiders? Dude, I killed the biggest spider today in the band room.
Good for you.
The
During
biggest
jazz
one.
band?
Yeah, I felt really bad. This is like bad relationship building. We're gonna come back to your fear, but I just take this. But I was talking to one of my sax players, like he was doing his weekend update, and he's just talking to me. The band's listening. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Just like stomp a spider because I saw it, because that happened before, like last week, and it like shut down the rehearsal for like a couple minutes because it was like yeah. And I just like took 2 pieces of paper, scooped it up, and it was my rehearsal buddy. I set it on the podium with me. Okay, sorry. Your fear.
My fear is that my fear is that I won't always believe in the power of the relationship. And that's kind of like outing. That's like outing myself.
That's like who you are.
And that's like,
that's Steve's thing.
that I know. Like, what if it's not worth it?
That's your fear.
Right.
So you've got like,
Like,
an
maybe
angel
it's-
and the demon on both
Yeah,
shoulders
like
talking to you.
what if it's this funny money? If it's just like, well, you're a social guy, so you just enjoy talking to kids. I'm not a social person. I don't know why you became a teacher, but does that truly matter? And I think I know the answer, but it does make me wonder. Like it's interesting, like working with the band and the bands, because you're working with individuals that are like moving as a group.
Yeah.
So you want that machine like well oiled and those pieces familiar with each other so they like work together.
I see where
But
you're going.
if you're working in alternative education where everybody's online working at their own pace and their own goals and their own strengths, student A does not influence student B like they would in marching band. You know, student A could do 50% work, student B could do 99% work, and they're like exclusive of each other. But then I got to think kind of like long ball, like the overall success of the room, and like they feel like when they're in the room, they're like accountable to doing something positive.
Yeah.
But it's also not do it for me, you know, like spin it, like make it some kind of guilt trip.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that, but I think there's obviously some trust that you build up, and there's like mutual respect.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that comes up to my mind. But because it does take a lot of time to do well, and I do believe in the payoff of it. And some kids just need an adult they can see and hear from at school that they trust.
Yep.
And it doesn't even have to be big things. It could just be like a consistent, positive personality that sees them. And that's good. I'm not always sure how it relates to academics. I guess I'll wait and see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So in my mind, like that's something I have to go through like now, because the scenario is so different. So it's kind of like putting those values to test.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. Like,
Of course I'm right.
consistency in a positive adult that they trust.
Yes.
I don't think school goes well without that, or it certainly doesn't go as well as it could. And you think, like, you know, Concord's goal right now is students feeling like they belong, right? We did a PD on that for quite some time, and like talking, like we're actually measuring this goal as a school, and like we're touching base with kids, or touching base with the staff, and making kids feel like they belong. And we're tasked with that as teachers. And you know, some teachers may feel like that may be out of their comfort zone, making like that's like a challenge for them because maybe that's not their game.
Mm-hmm.
And some teachers may be like, oh, I can do that. That's what I like to do. And so everyone is coming at this from like different ways. But the bottom line is like, we want kids to want to be at school.
Mm-hmm.
And school can't happen if they're not there, or it can't happen well, right? And I think you're onto that. Like if every kid could name an adult in the building that is positive, that they trust, and that's consistently both of those things.
That's a win.
That's a win.
That's a huge win, and that is a huge goal to have, and it's a really worthwhile goal that every student would have some connection with adults in the building they go to every day.
When you were in high school, did you, like on average, out of your 4 years, did you want to be at school? Did you want to come to school?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't like rushing to get out, and I had a lot of friends. I liked most of my teachers. I liked being in band and jazz band and just like part of the student body, like lunch and hallways and all that stuff. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of nutty. I mean, it is nutty when you think about it, that you're going to school with 1,500 other people.
That's pretty nutty.
You know?
And you'll never have, I mean, obviously college, but other than that, you'll never have something like that again.
No.
And I think even high school is different than college, of course, but,
Right. You liked it. You liked school.
well, I never left. Still here
Boom.
after all this time. No, I liked it. I mean, but I had really good teachers. I had really good friends, and I felt like I belonged, you know, and I wanted to be a part of it. And it is kind of sad when it's over.
Right.
And
You were kind of getting those dopamine hits,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
friends, staff, and you know, I think about somebody like you going through the halls of the high school, and then you can think of a student right now that would come to mind that has that. Then also you can think of the student that really has almost no connection,
Right.
and hopefully there's a connection with either Jack or Steve as we're talking, but there's some where that is not the mode of operation, where they're used to having that sense of security.
Yeah.
And that could be different. I mean, think about going to high school where if you're not a verbal person,
Yeah.
and if you speak few words that you speak very quietly, and you're constantly going to classes of 25 people, lunch is 600 people.
Just enough.
You
Yeah.
know, you're changing into gym shorts to go play volleyball for 45 minutes. And if you don't understand something and you're very reserved, it's tough to even say those questions.
No, you're not going to raise your hand. You don't want
And
the
you're
attention.
not going to
No.
get that. And then if a teacher cold calls you, it's awful.
Yeah, and there goes your trust, right?
Right, and it's that's a huge thing, and there's students in every single school
Yeah.
that feel like that,
Yeah.
that feel alone. How do you know that? I know there are. I've talked to kids
Right.
about that stuff, and we've had kids come up to us later and say, school has been this, and for me. Thanks for making an effort. Thanks for including me, basically. You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but man, that's all. The other thing is, you think of how much time we spend at school. If you don't have any connection, you're just like repeat and repeat and repeat, that you go into a building that you're not connected to, and then you go home. You go into a building to that you're not connected, like, oh my.
And it's like no wonder why kids would hate school. Right? They're
Exactly.
being forced to be there. And I mean, yeah, 6 to 8 hours a day of either minimal interaction or interaction that you don't want.
Yeah, right. You're being bullied,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
And it's like we are
Yeah.
the people that are in front of the kids the most. Like we are the front lines,
Yep.
and like we have to be the positive, consistent, trustworthy. Those are good. Positive, consistent, trustworthy.
Positive, consistent, trustworthy.
That's what you said.
PCT. I did?
PCT.
Oh, I said that?
Positive, consistent, and consistent trust. Yeah, you said that like 10 minutes ago. That's it. PCT. Positive, consistent, trustworthy.
Oh, good.
3 perfect concepts. There you go. So, I think you're right. I think you're right. We got to do that.
Yeah.
We got to get in there.
Yep.
That's it.
And it's always, I guess you got to trust the process and thinking that it's going to pay off.
Well,
And not pay off like in a selfish way, but pay off for like the good of the group.
I think it would pay off both. It would pay off for you because it's going to make your job
Right.
easier, but also more fun and better. Pays off for them too. And it's not going to make things worse.
No. It's not.
It won't. It won't. I think just like we scaffold teaching, I think we need to scaffold like how we approach our kids. Like if you never talk to your kids and then like one day you try and you're like, it's a senior about to graduate and you're just like, so what are your plans for next year? I don't know how well that conversation would go. They might not open up. Like you kind of have to build that in bit by bit, pick your poison how you want to do that. But I think there needs to be some sort of scaffolded approach.
Agreed. That's going to be Jack's next book because he's writing on a book right now.
I'm writing a book right now.
What's it called? Under the Chocolate Chip Cookie. A Tale of a Mouse.
That was the best you could come out
with. The Tale of a Mouse.
Tale of Evan.
The Tale of Evan, the random mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
It is now.
It's that time.
5:12. You gotta go eat.
Because I gotta go eat my burrito bowl.
Oh, by the way, this will be too late by the time that the Internet Society gets to this. But tonight, at the Chipotle's around us.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, we have a student that works at Chipotle, and she said if you come in with a college jersey, it's buy one get one free.
What?
Yeah.
College jersey?
Yeah. Buy one get one free. So I thought it was just like a college hoodie or sweat, t-shirt, and I was like, oh, I am going so tonight to Chipotle. But then I was thinking, well, maybe I should just go to Meijer, get a Purdue jersey, go get my free burrito, and then just go return it. Right? I did tell
let me borrow it and then return it.
Right, exactly. So that's
genius.
what I got.
Okay, Chipotle. Are you going to Chipotle today?
Probably not. I got a lot of leftovers to go through.
A lot of food. All right, like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, repost, all that stuff.
What? Okay, for Steve Peterson.
Jack Hinkle.
See ya.